Imagine needing a medication in order to stay alive. Now imagine that it costs hundreds of dollars for just a small dose. What would you do? That is the life and death struggle faced by the family you're about to meet. And now they are doing something about it. Watch this.
You have to have control over every aspect of your life. I mean, your diet, your exercise, and basically, you have to be okay with needles.
Hattie Saltzman was diagnosed with diabetes at 16.
My monitor will send my blood glucose information to my pump.
When she was 19, her insulin copay went from $125 to $550 a month, a huge financial strain on her family.
It was a very emotionally tense time. All of us were on edge. We didn't know where I would get my next little batch of insulin.
Hattie's dad, Russ, is also a diabetic, and Medicare was covering about 50% of his insulin costs. Hattie's family made a difficult decision.
We had the life-saving medication in the refrigerator, and we gave it to our child, yes. We broke the law.
I was siphoning insulin off the top of my dad's supply. I was also using less insulin per dose. So I was purposefully allowing my blood sugars to run high so that I could make the insulin last longer.
Hattie's diabetes medication also came from another unlikely source.
The daughter of one of my mother's friends passed away. She was also a type 1 diabetic, and she left behind many vials of insulin, pump supplies, testing strips, everything.
She knew the struggle that we were having that year. And she said, take it home for Hattie. And that's the insulin that kept Hattie alive the rest of the year.
Insulin to a type 1 diabetic is equivalent to water, oxygen. This is basically the air that I breathe. Without it, I die.
Please welcome Hattie and her parents, Dianne and Russ Saltzman. Thank you so much for being here. There had to be a level of disbelief, even at your young age, that you are facing these kinds of costs and this unavailability of a life-saving medication.
Yeah, and I think it's even more incredible that this kind of thing is happening right under our noses in America.
Yep.
You would think that America would be on top of this, and that's kind of the impression a lot of people have of this country.
You admit you had to break the law to stay alive.
Yeah, we're calling it civil disobedience right now. But
I like that better.
Yeah.
So what do you do about it? What can we do about it?
I think the most important thing is you need to call your congressman and write them. You need to be absolutely certain that the people you're voting into office know what's important to you. And we're asking for people to find this issue important because there are so many of us that are suffering from this. And
the only way you got your costs down from the $550 per month to now $25 is you went off your parents. You were no longer being claimed as a dependent.
Right. And
so what happened once you did that?
So I was able to use my own income for tax purposes. So when I was applying for insurance through the marketplace, I qualified for a tax credit, which covers my premium every month.
Okay.
So I was able
to get
a better
poorer.
Yes.
You had to get poorer as somebody who was previously a dependent. And we find all ways of manipulating the system, right, to get what we need. Everybody does that in healthcare, but I can't imagine, Dianne, as a mother, when you've got diabetes, two beloved family members, and you cannot afford the medication your daughter needs to stay alive.
That's my concern, because I was covering her with insurance. And with the insurance I was covering for her with my income, we had a deductible that was too high. And that's why we now cover her with her income. What happens when she graduates college and gets a job that has an income?
Right. And does it go back up to $550 a month?
It very well may, because some of my friends, they have jobs, and that's exactly what's happening to them.
What did that feel like for you, Russ, in the moment that you knew, because you have type 1 diabetes as well?
Yes.
That your daughter's got it, the medication's too expensive, and you guys start rationing the meds between the two of you.
Outraged. I was angry. And the more I looked into it to locate the cause of the sudden increases in insulin and also for other drugs that people depend on, I became even angrier. The cost of insulin bears no relationship to manufacturing cost. It does not.
Yeah.
It's been around 100 years. It's very easy to produce. Eli Lilly and other companies keep tweaking the patents just a little bit. So there's no generic.
Right, which allows the price to stay up. We did reach out to Eli Lilly. They said to us the list price of medicine is affected by numerous factors. People should not be paying those prices. That's why we're focused instead on lowering what people pay from their own pockets for insulin. They said the Lilly Diabetes Solution Center is staffed with pharmacists and nurses who help people find customized solutions that meet their personal circumstances. More than 2,000 people have used our helpline to meaningfully reduce what they pay at the pharmacy. Your thoughts on that?
We tried that. They didn't have any help for us.
We used manufacturing coupons. I applied for an assistance program that would grant me free insulin every month, and I was rejected on everything that I tried to use because I had insurance. It didn't take into account my deductible. It didn't take into account my $550 copay.
They don't care what your real life circumstances are, is what you're saying.
They look at you on paper and they chuck you in the bin.
Haven't we all been there? Haven't you been there, whether it's college tuition or health insurance, where they don't look at the actual real life circumstances? It's like a robot. You know, it's like a computer that does a calculation without being a human. Also with us here in the audience, I want to introduce Melissa Sum, who is an endocrinologist at NYU Langone. So the problem here, how common is this? Because it's not just Hattie's case, where people cannot get the meds they need because they're not on Medicaid, they're not on Medicare, on the opposite, right, when you're older. How common is this?
Unfortunately, it's a lot more common than we would certainly want. Diabetes itself is extremely common, and it affects 30 million Americans. Type 1 diabetes, in which the insulin doesn't make enough, in which the body doesn't make enough insulin, affects 1.25 million Americans. And insulin is absolutely critical to life, like Hattie was saying. So what insulin does is insulin is made from the pancreas, and it helps push the blood sugar from the bloodstream into the muscles and other tissues to provide energy needed for daily life. So similar to how if we had a non-functioning drain, water would back up and overflow from a bathtub. If someone didn't have enough insulin, all that sugar would back up.
They're not debating that it's necessary. They're just debating whether they should give it to you at a cost you can actually afford, right? I mean, that's the problem. And we haven't solved it. We've done so much. Look at Obamacare, and we tried to revamp healthcare so many times, and still here you are. Are you okay now?
I'm okay now. I mean, my copay is $25, and next year I haven't made any more money this year, so theoretically I've still got the tax.
So as long as you can stay totally unsuccessful in your financial future, you're going to be fine. Exactly. You're going to be fine.
I will continue to be a non-paid activist.
Right, well said. A civilly disobedient, non-paid activist. It shouldn't have to be this way. Listen, we did reach out to Blue Cross. Is that your insurer? Is that why we're mentioning Blue Cross?
That was my 2017 insurer.
All right, that was your old insurer. They said it was an unfortunate situation. Their mission is to help promote the health of their members. While rising pharmaceutical costs continue to pose challenges, the healthcare system as a whole has the challenges. We're working on innovative ways to control the overall cost of care. Do you feel better? Feel better? Yeah. Me neither. I got to go. You guys, thank you for coming on and telling your story. All the best to you. We'll be right back.